The effect of a draw can have a major influence in the outcome of a race. Statistics do show that horses win from all draws at all tracks and over all distances. Perhaps the question to ask is, do certain draws yield a greater percentage of winners than others?
A good draw helps you without any question. You know, you want to get a horse out the pens and into a momentum and breathing and relaxed as soon as possible. So a difficult draw, it takes you longer to get to find that niche where that they want to be in, where they're relaxed. And you know, if you've drawn one, you can be in the what we call the box seat, is one behind one leader, and yeah, you can be there basically for free without using your horse too much. So definitely very important, the draw.
It's the distances. So if you say a horse is drawn wide at Greyville 1200 or at Durbanville 1200, you're in a little bit of trouble.
Turfington inside track 1200. If you're drawn out of the first 5, very, very difficult. You know, you can't get in before you hit the straight.
If the horse is good enough, he has to be 3 lengths better than the field to win the race. Yeah. So some horses can be, but the odds are stacking against you. Greyville 1200, you're in trouble. We even moved Durbanville distance from 1200 to 1250. So all races at Durbanville Racecourse are 1250 to give the guys an extra 50 meters to try get into a position from the bad draw. The jockeys in Cape Town are, I must be honest, are top class in that, and everyone sat down, we worked together, and it was a great idea. Greyville 1400, I think you're still 50-50 chance of overcoming a draw. You start on the drill hall, so you're on the turn, so as the horses jump out, they head right. So if you're wide on the left, it's very hard to, because everyone's running away from you. So you're literally starting at a disadvantage.
1600 meters.
The mile is a little bit better. You're starting in the back straight a bit. You've got a little bit of time to overcome. You don't have to use as much of your horse to overcome the draw.
The drill hall here at Greyville, the mile, very difficult. You know, especially with all the feature races, not an inch is given.
So the mile at Greyville, the mile at Durbanville, negotiable. You can negotiate a bad draw, and then from then on, it gets easier. From wide draw. So like in the Vodacom Durban July, the Sun Met, you can easily overcome your draws. And the Lamans Queen's Plate, all those big group ones. But as I said, the 1400s can be a little bit tricky.
Talking now of Kenilworth specifically, are certain draws more preferable over certain distances?
There is, especially on the old course, you have to get a good draw.
Being edged in, all in line, they're racing from that 1200 meter mark.
Up the straight, really, it all depends on where the track's running on the day. Sometimes it runs a bit faster on the inside, sometimes on the outside, so it all depends on how the track's running.
What advice then would you have for punters when it comes to Kenilworth?
Kenilworth, I suppose just watch the first race and see where the guys are winning, and then take it from there.
It's important to know the running style of the horses and to judge whether a wide draw is really a disadvantage or not.
Different horses, you know, like to race from the front, so a wide draw, if they've got the good gate speed, they can overcome it.
If you've got a horse that's got a bit of gate speed and you can overcome the draw, then it's not too bad.
The expected pace, fast or slow, also comes into it. Despite all that, at certain tracks and over certain distances, some draws do yield a higher percentage of winners than others. Trainers even go so far as to rather not declare to run a race than to race from what they think is a poor draw, or alternatively only to accept to race from a wide draw with a horse they think can't win anyway. As a result, what's seen as a poor draw often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Trainers simply don't race horses with a chance from poor draws, and those draws therefore hardly give winners. Finally, if a horse you really like has a poor draw, those in the know say that you should back it all the same. But only do so if the price you get is a bit longer than you would have expected with a better draw. Only when you look for value will you make a profit in the long run.